To those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those in town, making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm excited to have with me Todd Ungaro, the Area Director of Club Z in-home tutoring and test prep. I need some help from you apparently in the English section, Todd.
We have tutors ready and available for you, Tyler.
Sorry for that mouthful. Thank you for joining me here today. It's going to be an exciting one.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I know a little bit about you, but why don't we start by just telling our viewers a little bit about who Todd is and what brought you to Club Z?
All right. Well, again, I'm Todd Ungaro, Club Z in-home tutoring and test prep. And Club Z is the largest in-home tutoring company in the U.S.
Oh,
we have about 400 franchises in the U.S. and Canada. The company's been around for about 20 years. It's been active in the Boston area for over 15 years. And I'm comparatively new to Club Z and tutoring. It's a career change for me. I've been at it about 4 months now.
Yeah? All going well?
It is going well, yeah.
You seem to be getting out there in the community, making a big splash in a good way. Tell us a little bit about your history coming to Club Z. What sparked that change of industry and frankly, change of kind of the whole dynamic picture? You're running your own organization now, running your own show.
Sure. I'll tell you. I had been with TJX, the corporate retailer,
Yep.
Parent company of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, and a newer division called Sierra Trading Post, and that's actually what I was working at most recently. I'd been at TJX about 15 years, great company, really loved it, a lot of friends there. However, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and wanted to do something more on my own and a little more connected to the community. And I was actually looking at food businesses to buy. I have a passion for food as well, and searching for businesses, and this opportunity came up. It seemed like a good fit with my values, my interests. We've all been to school, of course, and have more schooling than I care to admit, but it again resonated with me. I did my due diligence on the company, and they're a solid outfit, and so I've gotten into tutoring.
So from what I know about you, Todd, you seem to be very much a family man, and I think this organization translates to a lot of the same ideals that you hold so high, right? This is an organization where you're in people's lives, helping them improve, kind of grow individually, and get where they want to be in life. Is that fair to say?
That is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you from finding Club Z, start to finish? Walk me through that idea that I'm going to do this, I'm getting in at the ground level, and we're going to make it work.
Sure. Well, I'm a parent of 2 daughters, and have been participating in their education. I've got a daughter who's a sophomore in college and a daughter who's a sophomore in high school. And I've always admired teachers, and like a lot of us think that we might have been teachers at one point, or wished we'd become teachers. I discovered Club Z again. I was looking at businesses to buy, and they came up. It was in December. I got in touch with them, and again did due diligence, talked to other area directors, talked to the CEO of the company. And they checked out. And after a little more research and, just figuring that, again, it aligned with my values and the ability to touch people's lives in a positive way, it seemed like a good fit. And so did my training in January and launched in February.
Wow, fantastic. So when I say hit the ground running, you really just hit the ground running.
Yeah. Yep.
So you have a pretty good size footprint too. So you took over a role, or you stepped into a role or area that was a little bit stagnant for Club Z's standards, and it sounds like you're doing a great job of turning that around. Do you mind just touching on some of the areas that you're currently serving outside of just Woburn?
Sure. Well, yes, you're right. The area, which is about 7 to 10 towns, really about 10 towns that I service, had been run by a woman who retired last year. So, to your point, the area had been dormant for a little while. It had become available. So the territory that I service is Woburn, Lexington, Winchester, Wakefield, Lynnfield, Reading, North Reading, Stoneham, Melrose, Malden.
Don't forget one.
And Saugus. And
Wow.
I think Medford as well. Medford and Waltham are available for me and a few others of us to service as well. So
you got your hands full.
yes, I do.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Club Z. I think this is exciting, and I just from briefly chatting to you before the show, I actually learned quite a bit about Club Z, so I was excited. So tell us a little bit about the mission of Club Z. I know it's just a high-quality education, so just do you mind touching upon that a little bit, and then we'll dive into some of the meat and potatoes?
Yeah, sure. So Club Z's, what differentiates Club Z is the fact that it's in-home tutoring.
Yeah.
So we bring the tutor to the student's home. It's individualized instruction, a customized tutoring program, if you will. We don't have a learning center, and thereby we have lower overhead. We can pass that savings along into more competitive and affordable rates.
Mm-hmm.
The learning center tutoring companies are great if that works for a student and their parents. But oftentimes that involves, or not often, but really involves getting the student to and from the learning center.
Yeah, half the battle.
Yeah, so we're saving on that drive time, so we're adding convenience, and then again, it's individualized tutoring as well, one-on-one. And we personally interview and screen and vet all of our tutors. We background check them, and then the real value we add is that we match the tutor with the student based on the student's learning style, the needs of the student, and of course the teaching style and credentials of the tutor. So we will not assign just any tutor to any student. We have an in-home consultation with the student and their parent beforehand. We do an evaluation, and then again, we go to great lengths to match the right tutor with the student.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about that process, that evaluation, that initial evaluation. So you're working with the parents and the students to figure out what areas they may need more focus in, building a customized plan, and then really just kind of listening to understand which kind of tutor or which tutor that you have in the quiver makes a lot of sense for that family. Is that fair?
That is fair, yep.
Okay.
That's
excellent. And so I know you shared a story with me once about how unique some of the requests are for tutors too, which it sounds, I think the word you said was go to great lengths.
Yeah, we do go to great lengths, and so again, we don't assign just any tutor to any student. So sometimes the request will be gender specific, and so we're respectful of that. Sometimes it will be age specific. They prefer a tutor within a certain age range. But at the end of the day, it's really satisfying the student and their parents by extension. So yeah, but so far so good. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from my clients so far.
That's great. And so all areas of subjects, tell me, is there a limitation, or is there a complete scope that what you're able to do?
We will do pretty much everything. It's most of our business is school-age children, so K through 12.
Okay, that's fair.
But we'll do pre-K, and we'll do college students, we'll do adults. We get some demand for ESL. We do special needs, but most of the business is academic tutoring K through 12, and then another piece is the college admission test prep tutoring, so the SAT and the ACT.
Let's spend some time there. So I heard that, especially this time of year, that must be a pretty good focus now that kids are freeing up their plate a little bit. I'm not sure, but no, let's talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, sure. Yes, you're right. I mean, the summertime is a good time to focus on tutoring and test prep because students don't have the demands and workload of the regular school year courses going on. The test prep cycle is pretty much year-round these days. Both the ACT and the SAT are
really. I didn't know that. Okay, it's been a while since I've had to take
months.
it.
Yep, and that's to provide flexibility and give the students a chance to improve their scores on those tests. So yeah, either the SAT or the ACT is given really every couple months. So it's an ongoing thing. But it's the students who are juniors in high school who are most focused on that. And if they can get a start as sophomores, they're ahead of the game, because junior year is when the grades really matter, and high school is just really cranked up. They often have athletics and extracurricular things going on. So we encourage students to start preparing and getting familiar with those tests sophomore year and summer going into junior year. Just because they're busy, it often ends up that it's their junior year and summer going into senior year when they're finally getting around to getting that going. But they also have got the research of looking into colleges, getting their grades up, again, extracurricular activities that colleges are looking for, and their applications as well. It's a lot of work.
I'm sure it is. And so what's the typical process look like? And I know it's very client specific, so let's just hypothetical. I'm a sophomore student. I want to definitely focus on my college test preparation. I know I have 3 months off, or 2.5 months, whatever it is in the summer that they're getting now. Mm-hmm. They sit down with Todd a week before school ends. Paint me a picture. What are we meeting once a week and with a phone call follow-up? Are we meeting in person every time? I'd love to visually kind of just figure out what that next step might be.
Sure. Yep. Well, usually it's the student and their parent, and often the parent driving this train. Yes. But nonetheless, it's the student at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, they'll get in touch with us, and we'll meet with them and talk to them about where they're at so far. Mm-hmm. We encourage, and of course, everyone can do this, and that is going online and doing a little research on their own first. The two tests are similar but different, and it's good to figure out which one you're going to focus on, either the SAT or the ACT.
Yeah. But
we can help talk through that with them. But really, ideally, you sign up for a program that's either one session a week or 2 sessions a week. 2 sessions is better because there's more repetition, mm-hmm. and you're more likely to retain mm-hmm. what you're learning. But we will administer a diagnostic test, so the students can do a practice test with us. We've got an excellent platform for that.
Is that early on?
That is early on, yep. And then you baseline where they're at, because it's very accurate to what they're likely to achieve when they actually take the test.
And is that something Club Z has developed, out of curiosity?
It's a third party, but it's something that we've licensed, mm-hmm. and it's proprietary to us. It's more rigorous than some of the other practice tests that are out there.
I was curious. I figured that to give you a good baseline.
There's a good solid resource. Most parents and students are familiar with it, called Khan Academy. That's associated with the College Board, which mm-hmm. administers the SAT test, and they've got a lot of very good practice tests that students can take. Khan Academy.
That's an interesting note.
However, selfishly and otherwise, our test is more rigorous, and it really dials down in more detail as to where the student is struggling, the challenge areas. It's got video modules for answers for all the test questions. So ours is an excellent diagnostic, but Khan is also solid.
I think it's okay to be selfish there.
Yeah,
that's a moment.
But Khan is solid because you could take multiple practice tests with them. Ideally, a student signs up for a weekly regimen of either one session for 2 hours or 2 1.5-hour sessions.
Okay.
Going more than 2 hours at a time, it's hard to stay focused and have the energy to push through that. But about 6 to 8 to 10 weeks, depending on.
Oh, you're seeing quite the cycle too. So.
Yeah, where the students' needs are, where they baseline and how far they want to go to improve their scores.
Is there any area of focus that you do specialize in? I know you really have unbelievable reach with what you're able to do with your tutors and your families that you serve, but is there an area of focus? Is it the test prep, or is it certain areas of business or different subjects? So just curious. I'm not really sure what question I'm asking. You know where I'm going with that?
I do know what you mean, and I would say that, again, we will go and find the right tutor for the student if we don't have them, but it is pretty much K through 12. The demand ends up being in middle school and high school, so it's the academic subjects in middle school and high school, as well as test prep. That's probably our core business, those sort of 3 segments: middle school, high school and test prep. And high school and test prep ends up being a bit more of the business because there's more pressure at that point in time to get the grades and to get into
You're right.
the
Yes.
best college possible.
Yeah. It becomes very real in those moments.
It does. But on the other hand, what I get a lot of satisfaction from is helping the kids at the earlier ages who are struggling with either reading comprehension or writing or math, really in elementary school and in middle school, where, you know, they're not being judged or evaluated to get into college at that point, but it's really, are they learning, learning in those subjects and keeping up with their peers and keeping up with the curriculum. And you see actually more return on investment, if you will, if you're a parent, when your child is struggling earlier on, say in elementary school or middle school, to get tutoring then, because they haven't developed either the bad habits or the study skill habits yet, but their minds aren't as developed yet. And if you can make an impact then, you see better results, more longer lasting results, and then you don't have the challenges that you often do at the high school level. So
preparation is key.
It is, and yeah.
Yeah, and that must be really rewarding to be able to see some of the impacts that you're making, especially at a younger age and a younger grade level.
It is, yeah. I've got several clients who are elementary school students, and their parents are thrilled because the kids are doing much better, and you can see the kids' confidence is improving. And
it's more than just school for these kids at that point, right? You're right. The confidence it translates to every part of their life.
Yeah.
No. Wow, so you're really community involved, really involved in the lives of your clients as well, and just really giving back is a big part of what I've known about you, Todd. And so what are you doing out there currently in the community, or maybe what have you done, and what do you expect to kind of do to get involved or have on the books moving forward?
Yeah, sure. Well, a little bit more about me. I'm originally from Andover, Massachusetts, and I live in Newton, where I've been for about 20 years, so I don't live in my territory, but it's great to be back sort of in the area where I grew up. And I've joined a couple of chambers of commerce. I've gotten involved, I've been a volunteer in Newton with a group called Newton at Home, and that enables elderly people to stay in their homes longer.
Oh, that's great.
So we'll do errands and chores and handyman type work. I'm channeling the inner handyman and carpenter in me with that, and also I've gotten familiar through my networking efforts with a great organization in Reading called Mission of Deeds.
Oh, yes, yeah.
You know Mission of Deeds?
Yeah.
So they provide home furnishings, furniture, bedding, etc., to underprivileged folks. And once a week I go in there, and with some others in there, I build coffee tables out of reclaimed or unused dining room tables. A lot of people donate dining room tables, and those are too big to go into the apartments that a lot of our clients are going to be housed in. So we make coffee tables out of dining room tables, and that's been a lot of fun. So those are a few things
You
I'm
really
doing.
are channeling your inner handyman.
I am. I do it as much at home.
That's funny.
And at my girlfriend's house.
I didn't know that.
But
That's
yeah,
something.
Yeah, it's fun.
That is fun.
But they're a great organization, so that's been very rewarding, getting involved with those folks.
And that's right in your territory, not the reason you do it, but it's a great connection that you have there to the community already, and it sounds like giving back is a huge part of your life already.
Yep. Yeah. It's been great.
So I know we've talked a few times in your last 4 months here with the Club C, but it sounds like you're growing. It sounds like there's a need for your services in this area. So what do you need? Is it partnerships in the area? Is it just more opportunities like this to get out there and talk a little bit about your organization? Because it sounds like the need is there. It's just the need to get your voice out there and kind of tell people who you are is really where we're up against.
Yeah, you're right. It is really vehicles or mediums like this and other marketing channels and opportunities out there. So I sponsored Mission of Deeds, their 25th annual fundraiser a few weeks ago. That was great just to meet people, getting out in the community. Again, a member of a couple of chambers of commerce. And be exhibiting at the Winchester Town Day on June 2nd. So
June 2nd. Come on by. Say hello.
yeah,
Awesome.
please do.
Yeah. Where's that going to be located? I'm
That's
curious.
in downtown Winchester. They
Okay.
closed down the center of Winchester, and if the weather permits, there will be a lot of people out there and a lot of organizations promoting themselves and promoting the community there. So yeah, we've got that going on. But no, it's really just getting to know folks in the community, Woburn here especially,
Yeah.
in fact.
Yeah. So if somebody sees this today and they want to say hello, get to know you and the organization, or think that they have a family member, a child, or somebody that might need your services, or frankly a community partner that is passionate about maybe something they heard here today that they want to partner up with you on, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way to reach out to you, Todd? Email,
Well,
cell
ironically,
phone, website?
We do have a phone number and a website right there.
Best way to get you?
Pretty
right
much
there?
the best way, yep.
Okay.
We're always looking for tutors as well.
Okay, good to know.
Current teachers, retired teachers, or professionals who are degreed in their field. We're always looking for science tutors, but all of the academic subjects. And so, yeah, teachers,
Okay.
either existing teachers or former teachers who would like to supplement their income, and they're in their field because they're driven and it comes from the heart, so they're generally passionate about education, and we're always looking for tutors as well.
Awesome. So you're looking for good tutors. I mean, you need to, right? Well, as you're growing, you're going to need more capacity. So
Yeah.
good to know. So that's great. If there's a tutor out there that wants to get involved or may want to become a tutor, give you a shout.
Yes,
Good to know.
by all means.
Good to know. So this has been a lot of fun. I know I personally have learned a lot about Club Z today, Todd. Something to leave the viewers with. If you were going to start somewhere in the tutoring process or kind of getting on track in the educational process, is there any tidbits that you might be able to leave us with today? And then feel free to share anything that you'd like to kind of in closing with our guest today.
Really just, this is an old adage, but it's never too late or too early to start something that's going to help your cause or your child's cause. Yeah, I would say that.
I like that.
If your child needs help in school or wants enrichment to go to the next level, please think of us. We're in-home, individualized instruction, and very affordable. So please think of Club Z.
Sounded like to me, you make it convenient, right? They don't have to travel to or from a location. It's in-home, right? That convenience factor is huge. I think the one thing that stood out to me about Club Z is the fact that you personalize the tutor to the family as much as you possibly can to make sure it's a good fit. And you guys have such a scope. If there's a need, you'll find a tutor to fill that need, which I think is fantastic. So Todd, thank you for coming on today. I've loved getting to chat with you, learn a little bit more about you. Let's see if we can get Club Z out there in the Woburn community.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, Tyler. It's been a pleasure, and
It's been a lot of fun.
yeah.
All right, till next time, okay?
Thanks a lot. All right, till next time.
And thank you for watching today's show with Todd Ungario. Remember, we all have one life to live. Let's all try to do our part. I'm your host, Tyler Gates. Join us again next time for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.